can't stop the rain when it starts to pour.
Brazil. Here I stand, a grown-ass man, all by myself, a grown-ass man. A young nigga with some grown-ass plans, but don't point fingers, you don't know that man. You don't know it's hard, you don't know it's pain. You ain't looking through that scope, you don't know it's aim. Minus all the videos, stickers and flyers, most of these
You can't protect.
What's going on, YouTube? We back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Niles YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we back with another movie review, and we got the Eternals, Marvel. But for real though, this is probably one of the biggest debate movies that's probably come out recently as far as pertaining to Marvel, being that this is the first Marvel movie I think that has a Rotten Tomatoes score. Going into this movie, hearing all the bad reviews, not really necessarily hearing the bad reviews, but hearing the bad scores, because I didn't necessarily look at certain critics' reviews. I was mostly looking at the people that I watch on YouTube, like Real Rejects, or somebody like Beyond the Trailer, Grace Randolph, you know her, or Jody's Corner, people like that, you know, that I look at on YouTube and seeing their opinion. And a lot of them, John Campia, a lot of them was saying that the movie, not that it was bad or not that it was entertaining like the best movie in the world, but it wasn't it wasn't as bad as giving it a Rotten Tomatoes score, I guess. So going into this, I did not have high expectations. Excuse me. Plot wise, The Eternals is a movie about these beings that are created by a sentinel named Ashmere. I'm thinking I'm saying his name right. If I'm not saying his name right, my bad. Asimir or Ashmere, a sentinel named Ashmere, and he basically sending all these signals to Earth. I think universe. Does he send them to multiple universes? I think, or Earth. I know he's sending them to Earth to defeat these things called deviants or deviants or something like that. I think they call deviants, these creature-like things that feed on humans or whatnot. Basically, the intelligent life on Earth, which are us humans. So, in order, the Eternals want the population to grow. Not only the population to grow, but they want the humans to advance. You know, gain more technology, or gain more, get smarter. You know what I'm saying? Learn more things, be able to create more things for themselves or whatnot. But the thing about it is, the longer the Eternals on Earth or whatnot, because they're on Earth for a long time, centuries, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and they are witnessed upon wars that we have had, all the wars, you know, and they are not allowed to jump into those conflicts as far as human conflicts, you know, the whole thing with Thanos and the Avengers conflicts, or any of those things, the things they've had to deal with, they weren't allowed to do that because from the order of the signal Ashmere, the one who created them or whatnot. This movie, going into this, like I said, I had low expectations because hearing so many of the bad reviews or whatnot, not really hearing them like I said or whatnot, but just hearing the score, Rotten Tomatoes score. Honestly, just giving you my first opinion, I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would because of the low expectations. This movie is way better than Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World. I mean, it's more, I could say Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's so many other movies, Marvel movies, that this movie is better than. I've heard people saying that this is what the Avengers would have been if they didn't have any solo movies or any build-up movies. I can see that, but not in a bad way. I get it though, because even with all these characters, it's 10 Eternals, if I'm not mistaken, 10 Eternals. Even with all these characters, I still didn't feel any type of way of they getting lost or not understanding where this character at or where this character at. They could have done without certain characters, because I mean, it's come down to a point where they in like a last fight, a fight that's towards the end, and one of them like completely is gone, and he not dead enough. He just like, I'm good. He or she. It's not a he or she, but I'm just saying, I'm not gonna spoil anything. This is not a spoiler review or whatnot. But pretty much though, do Eternals feel like a DC movie? I hear a lot of those comparisons. It feels like a DC movie. If you say it feel like a DC movie, I guess I can understand them saying this feels the farthest from a traditional Marvel movie. I get all of it because this is one of the Marvel movies that has some of the first things that's going on. And you'll understand what I'm saying when you watch it. You probably heard some of the things, like a certain scene that happens, like a sex scene. It's a scene, it's a LGBT. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but it's a scene in here, other scenes in here. I'm just saying there's scenes and things going on in this movie that hasn't happened in other Marvel movies. That's happening for the first time in this movie. More adult things, I should say. You know what I'm saying? It's a more mature Marvel movie. I was not bored by this movie at a long shot, and that's one of the reasons why I've been scared to watch a movie like Doom, because as much as I'm hearing as good Doom is, I'm hearing it is boring. That's one thing I constantly hear, that it's boring. But other than that, I was not bored with Eternals. I understood the story. I was going along with the story. I honestly was interested in the story. Cast-wise, like I said, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. You have Salma Hayek as Ajax. You had Don Lee as Gilgamesh. You had Angelina Jolie as Thena. Angelina Jolie in this movie, man. She's phenomenal. She's not a lead role. She does not take the lead in this movie, but she is phenomenal in this movie. There are scenes in here where I'm like, is she actually the one fighting? I mean, I know they probably used stunt double. They probably did, but she got some great action scenes in here. You have Lauren Ridloff, who plays Makara. If you don't know who Lauren Ridloff, I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. Lauren Ridloff, she plays on The Walking Dead, and she's a deaf person or whatnot. She she don't play a deaf person. She is deaf in real life, but she is phenomenal in the movie. If you want your Marvel version of Flash, here she is. But I mean, she is phenomenal. I mean, she got a scene at the end, in a last fight scene. I'm telling you, I was sitting there like, yo, she going in. She going in. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but she was really going in. I love her character. I'm sorry if I'm trying to make sure I got everybody, because I do feel like you should name all the Eternals. Of course, you got you have Kumaji Namaja, who plays I can't get his name, but you have Richard Madden, who plays Icarus. Of course, the Superman of Marvel. You have Kit Harington, who plays they got him in here, just Black Knight. I don't even remember them saying his name in this movie. I honestly can't remember, but Kit Harington, who you know from Game of Thrones, and Richard Madden, they do have a scene together here at the beginning. I don't feel like that's spoilers. I feel like everybody done heard that or seen that anyway. But they do have a scene in here. I'm not going to say what the scene is, but they do have a scene together here, the Stark brothers, of course, from Game of Thrones. But everybody in here is phenomenal, man. Like I said, if I'm missing, I'm sorry if I'm missing out the names. I know the person in the background that knows. I can't remember his name, but it's a character in here to know. It's a Eternal in here to control minds, like the Professor X. I can't say the Professor X of Marvel, because Professor X already a part of Marvel, but he another Eternal that can control minds. You have my man Brian Henry in here, you know, off Atlanta. Damn, his name started with a P. Phonesis. I'm sorry if I can't remember everybody's name, but I know the main ones. Cersei, she's a main character. She's one of the main ones that we are following in this movie. Cersei, but Brian Henry, Brian Tyler Henry, if I'm saying his name right, he has a great scene in here at the end, towards the end too. I feel like he has a good emotional scene in this movie. But overall, following all the Eternals, I mean, because I had to go through that. I'm sorry, y'all. That's what you have to. It's a lot of expedition in this movie, as far as a lot of explaining in this movie, breaking a lot of things down, and as far as explaining who the Eternals are, explaining who the Sentinels are, explaining why they on Earth, the things they're trying to do, reasons why they on Earth. They go into a lot of things. They go into, and I'm sorry if I said the name wrong as far as the way they explain things, as far as exposition or whatnot. But they dive into a lot of information as far as giving you a lot of information. You might have to keep up with it. This definitely one of the movies that's probably due for a second viewing if you would not only enjoyed it, but if you want to understand it more. Because I honestly had to go after the ending because it's something that happens at the end I'm not going to say, but it ends on somewhat of a cliffhanger. But I had to go watch one of the YouTube videos somebody I watched, shout out to Heavy Spoilers. I had to go watch his video to get more explanation to what was going on towards the end too. Not only that, to get more understanding of not their purpose or their meaning, but what really the signal that created them, Ashmere, more of his purpose and what he stood behind. Because towards the end, it's like, oh, whoa, bro, what's gonna happen? But that's why I said I can honestly say I enjoyed this movie a lot more. If you have any comparisons as far as Icarus to Superman, I feel like he used his eyes way more than Superman do. His laser vision, like, that's one of his top-notch things he used. He phenomenal in this movie as far as Richard Madden as Icarus. He is definitely top-notch as far as one of the guys that feel like he could be somebody that a very powerful superhero as far as part of the Marvel universe or whatnot. He definitely showed what he can do in this movie. And that's why one of the things I was saying about Angelina Jolie. Sorry if I can't talk, man. A long day at work. As far as Angelina Jolie as Thena, I feel like she had a phenomenal action sequence in here, man. And I feel like she had some of those throughout the movie. She has a lot of action sequences throughout the movie. And I feel like one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie is with them even explaining everything, I was not bored. I even got in tune with some of the things they had going on because it's a lot of things that the Eternals are going through as far as things they have to deal with being on Earth for as long as they are on Earth. People they have to deal with because these are people that have been on Earth forever, watching people die as far as humans growing old or whatnot. There's a lot of things they're dealing with. Not only that, like I said, watching the conflicts of human beings as far as wars or whatnot. So they dive into a lot of things in this movie that I actually enjoyed them diving into. Not only that, I was able to follow along as far as what was going on with the story. Like I said, I did have to go to YouTube and find out some more information, understand some more things, but that's the thing, I was interested. I wanted to know more. As far as enjoying the Eternals as a whole, I can enjoy watching them all together. Do I need solo movies on them? I don't feel like I need that. That's why I actually enjoy the movie, and I don't understand why people saying what they're saying about the Eternals as far as being bad. I don't need solo for movies for them. I didn't need a build-up movie for the Eternals, like an Avenger movie. I enjoy what they did with having them all together in the next movie or whatnot, or if any of them in a movie, in another Marvel movie, not they solo movie, they're in another Marvel property movie as far as like they might pop up in Doctor Strange, pop up in No Way Home, or pop up in a new Avenger movie. I understand who this character is and what's up. And I ain't gonna be sitting there like, what's that Eternal? What's that Eternal? Who that Eternal? I know each of these Eternals. I know I didn't name everybody, but I can, if you show me their face or what's I know who that character was. I remember what he did in the movie. That's what I'm saying. The Sentinels have more play in this movie than I thought they would. It's a lot going on with the Sentinels. That's why I'm saying as far as explaining and explanation, it's a lot that they go behind, and it's a lot that they throw out there to you. Like I said, they throwing it out there to you. They're throwing it out there to you. So it's on you to be able to keep up with it. But I feel like maybe if you give it a second viewing, or even go on YouTube and get somebody who can explain it better, you'll have a better understanding of it. Because maybe that's the problem. I'm not like the biggest Marvel head out there. I haven't read so many comics as far as Marvel go. And maybe that's what it is. There's a lot more Marvel fans out there that be like, yo, I know the comics and this and that and the third, and I don't feel like this was the way. Or it could be that thing of having a certain amount of people who enjoy the MCU a certain way, and they have watched the MCU be a certain way, and this is what, this movie was not the MCU way, and they like, nah, this ain't it. I feel like a lot of critics were thinking that way too, as far as knowing that same MCU formula and being so familiar with that same MCU formula, getting a movie like this and being so unfamiliar with the way and the route it took. It's like, wait a minute, this ain't MCU, what is this? And that's why you probably was hearing those DC comparisons, and a lot of people even saying, like I said before, this what the Avengers would have been if they didn't have those solo movies to build up to them. Being that a lot of those solo movies not good though, well, sequel wise, I feel like a lot of the first movies, like the first Iron Man, of course, the first Thor, the first Ant-Man, I actually really enjoyed the first Ant-Man. The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, I really enjoyed that one. I do. The first Avengers, like I said, but the solo movies is mainly what I'm talking about. The build up to those Avengers movies, I feel like were phenomenal. Black Panther, Doctor Strange. Well, I ain't gonna say Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is not one of my favorite ones, but definitely Black Panther. Who else, man? I feel like I'm forgetting some, but that's what I'm saying. As far as I feel like a lot of fans, critics, they were so familiar with that MCU formula that this movie separated itself from that, and they didn't get that, so they was looking at this like, man, this ain't it. This is not the route. Honestly, my opinion, like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. It'll be one of the ones I go back and watch, like Shang-Chi. It's one of another ones that I want to go back and watch. But this one, it surprised me. But I think it was because I was so low on my expectations. Like I said, hearing so many of the bad Rotten Tomatoes score, or hearing people say they liked it, but they didn't like it as much as other MCU movies or whatnot. And you know, when the MCU movie come out, everybody like, oh man, this is one of the greatest ones, this is one of the best ones or whatnot. So that's how I was looking at it. Overall though, I feel like I'm looking forward to wherever they got coming next as far as the Eternals. Not only with the Eternals, with other characters as far as the movie go. I ain't gonna give nothing away, but it's post-credit scenes at the end of Eternals, and it could possibly be leading to certain things, a Disney Plus show, maybe even leading into the next Eternals movie, who knows. But definitely stick around if you watch the Eternals for those last two post-credit scenes. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but definitely stick around for them. They definitely hint to future things that possibly are coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Other than that though, I enjoyed the movie overall. I feel like it was another good entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I feel like Kevin Feige just cannot lose as far as these movies. Every time he surprises me, because I go into one of these Marvel movies like, man, this ain't gonna be this. Ant-Man, for example, I feel like was one of the ones. I don't know nothing about Ant-Man. What's Ant-Man? I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't feel like it's that good, but I still enjoyed it. What's another Thor and stuff? Like, these are characters that I didn't know too much about. I knew about more like Spider-Man, the X-Men, a little bit about Iron Man. That's off the animated series, The Incredible Hulk. So when they introduce these other characters and they introduce these movies, I find myself enjoying them a lot more because you can understand them. Not only that, of course, the comedy to me is a little too much at times with the MCU movies. I wish they would take themselves a little bit more serious at times. Other than that, though, I still find myself enjoying them. So overall, I enjoyed the Eternals. I honestly am looking forward to another one. Whatever they do as far as Disney Plus spinoffs with this, I guess I look forward to it because of the post-credit scene. You understand what I'm talking about once you see the post-credit scene. If they go that route because of the post-credit scene with the Disney Plus show leading into this another Eternals movie, I'm good with that. I can actually look forward to that. Other than that, though, I enjoyed all the characters in here. I actually did, man. Of course, they could have left probably two at the most. Two Eternals out to get more development with other Eternal characters or whatnot. Overall, though, I didn't feel like I didn't get an understanding. I didn't feel like I was confused. I know a lot of people saying the movie was basically disjointed. It wasn't in place enough for them or whatnot. But I actually, like I said, understood it. I actually enjoyed where it went. I ain't gonna say it was the best route they took, but after like those scenes, the certain fighting scenes and whatnot, I'm like, okay, I'm good with this. I like this, man. And like I said, I was never bored watching this. Overall, though, I enjoyed the Eternals. So I guess y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all seen the Eternals. How did y'all feel about it? Did y'all enjoy it? Do y'all put it on one of y'all top lists as far as Marvel movies? Or do y'all feel the same way as the Rotten Tomatoes score about it? Do y'all not like it? Let me know in the comment section, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is the road to 400 subs. Shout out to all my subscribers and shout out to everybody checking out my videos, man. Yeah.
Any of them.
See me smile at the actual situation. And because they can sense that I'm not afraid of it, yeah, it's only because of my experience prior to. That they don't